Hey, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Tech Conversations. I'm your host Guillermo. It is July 27th. Hope you're all having a great day today. Stock market is red today. A lot of stocks bleeding down. So I figured today would be a great day to continue our series on Webull and talking about multiple different strategies to implement on Webull. So today I want to focus on selling puts on Webull, more specifically selling cash secured puts on Webull. Which is not only a great way to generate consistent income every single week, it's also a great way to potentially buy your stocks for a cheaper price. So before I show you all of that, all I ask is that you guys hit the like button down below and subscribe, guys. It really helps out the channel. So I am currently selling calls on Webull. I'm also using Robinhood to sell options. I'm also using Fidelity to sell options. So I have 3 different brokers right now, and I think it's important to have multiple brokers because there are times when, for example, a broker might be having technical difficulties. You may not be able to trade for a couple of hours. And let's say you really want to get into a trade. Well, if you have 2 other brokers that are working fine, you can use those to get into a trade. Another reason, for example, is pattern day trading. Some people can only day trade 3 times in a 5-day trading window. Well, if you have 3 different brokers, you're allowed 3 day trades on each broker. So now you have access to more day trades. So I think it's great to have multiple brokers. I also really like Webull because on Webull you can trade during extended hours. That means you can trade between the hours of 4 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and between the hours of 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is great, especially if you want to get into a stock before the rest of the crowd the following day. You can use extended hours on Webull to do that. So definitely check out Webull if you haven't signed up to it yet. I'll put a link to it in the description below. If you sign up using the link, you will get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,000. So check it out, link to it in the description below. Now, after you've signed up, you go to Webull.com. This is the website right here. What you want to first do is go up here to the top. There will be a link that says trade. You want to click on that link, and this will take you to the UI for Webull. It'll take you to this page right here. So this is the watch list page right here. As you can see, if you hover over the tab, what you want to do is you want to go to the one below it that says stocks, and you want to click on that tab. And so this will take us to this tab right here. Now, the first thing you see on the left here is basically your watch list. And then you can also go to recently, which will show you kind of stocks that you've looked at recently. So basically what I do is I don't really need this here, so I'll go ahead and collapse that and give us more room to view the important things. Now, the very first thing we want to do here is we want to go ahead and search the stock that we want to sell put options with. And so if you go to the top right, and you may not be able to see this here, but there is a search box up here that says symbol/name. So in there, you're going to click in it, and you're going to go ahead and type the ticker symbol for that stock. I'm going to use GM for this demo. And so if I go ahead and enter GM, you will see the drop down that shows up. And this allows you to see stocks that have GM in their name or in the ticker symbol. And so the very first one on top says GM. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And this will take me over to that stock. So here we are on GM. So the very first thing we see on the top here, of course, is a chart for this stock, for General Motors here. And so this is a great chart here on Webull. This allows you to do a lot of technical analysis if you're really into doing things like that. This will allow you to do that. As you can see up here, multiple different tools you can use for your technical analysis on the stock. Now, if we go down here, we see some other great things, right? We see news here, which basically gives you news related to that stock. And so here's General Motors. So as you can see, bunch of different news for General Motors, which is great, right? It has it all here. You don't have to go search for it in Google or anywhere else. And if you keep going right, you'll see things like financials. So it'll give you like their income, balance, cash flow, finance ratio, a bunch of things. And then you can go right. You'll see the analysis, kind of what the analyst price targets are, things like that, press releases. So basically all the different things you need for fundamental analysis. So up here we have the chart for technical analysis. We have tabs here for fundamental analysis. But eventually, if you go to the right, you'll see the options tab right here. So we can click on that tab. this will show us the particular options for the stock we're currently in, which again is ticker symbol GM right here. So the very first thing I want to show you guys here is if you click on this drop down here, the settings drop down, this allows you to change a couple of different things. So the very first thing I'm going to change is filter for sites. So this allows you to basically see only the calls, only puts, or both calls and puts. Right now it's showing me both calls and puts. Since we're dealing with selling put options, I'm just going to go ahead and click on puts only, because that's the only thing I want us to focus on is puts, because we're going to be selling put options. The other thing I want to switch, because if you take a look here, you can see the strikes here. The other thing I want to switch here is that I'm used to seeing the higher strikes on top and the lower strikes on the bottom. Here it's the opposite. Here we're starting with the lowest strike and going to the highest strike. So we can change that in settings. I'll go to sort by strike price and I'm going to click on descending. There, that's what I'm more used to, seeing the highest strike on top. So now we have that. Now we go on to the very first important thing here, which is choosing the expiration date for your option. Now, as you can see, the expiration dates are on this tab right here. So currently the selected one is July 30th, 2021. The next one is going to be August 6th, then August 13th. Now, if you want more expiration dates, what you do is you click on this drop down right here. This drop down will give you access to more expiration dates. So you can see we can go out as far as January 20th, 2023. So keep in mind there are more expiration dates. You just need to click on this drop down. I'm going to go to August 6th just because July 30th is basically coming up here very quickly. And so I want to kind of reenact us getting more premium here by going a little bit further out to August 6th. So now that we've chosen our expiration date, the next thing we need to do, of course, is choose a strike price. Now, you may think, well, there's only a couple of strike prices here, right? There's only like, maybe 5 on each side. Well, you can change that too. Right here on this drop down where it says strikes 10, you can click on that, and this can this will allow you to basically change the number of options that you see. So you can click on all, and this will show you all the options that are available for that expiration date. So as you can see, this starts up at the $85 strike. It goes all the way far as down to the $43 strike. Right, but this is a lot of different options here. It's kind of a little bit hard to kind of scroll through all of this. So usually what I do is I leave it with less options. So I'm just going to go back to 10. You also have 40, 26. I'll just go to 10 here. I think 10 is enough here for what we're doing. So we're seeing 10 options here. So the next thing we want to do, of course, is choose the option that we want to sell. Now remember, how does selling a put option work? So remember, when you sell a put, the reason you want to sell a put most of the time is because you want to potentially buy a stock at a cheaper price and you want to get paid to do so, right? So for example, let's say we wanted to sell the put here at the $52 strike, right? So here is the option with the 52 strike, as you can see here. If I wanted to sell this put, what's going to happen? How does it work? And what does that mean? So by selling this put option, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to put up collateral, right? Collateral to potentially buy 100 shares of this stock at the strike price that I'm choosing. So I would have to put up $5,200 in collateral here, right? Because if I do have to buy 100 shares of GM at $52 a share, I'm going to need $5,200. And so what's going to happen is on the expiration date, which is August 6th, if the price of GM is $52 or above, this will expire worthless. Nothing will happen. If it's under $52 though, I'm going to have to buy 100 shares of GM at $52 a share. So what do I get in return for taking on that risk? Well, you get a premium, right? You get a premium, and the premium is shown in the last price here, right? So you're going to get a premium. So for this, I would get a premium of around, it's actually going to be between the bid and the ask. So I would get a premium of about 0.76. So 76 cents. Keep in mind that that's going to be per share. Each contract controls 100 shares. So I'm going to receive about 76 cents per share. or $76 for selling this put option. So I'm getting $76 for selling this put, and potentially I'll be able to buy my 100 shares of GM at a cheaper price at $52 a share. So it's kind of a win-win for me, right? Because not only am I getting paid to do this, I'm also potentially buying my shares at a cheaper price than what it's currently at, because GM right now is only at 54.66. So that's how selling a put option works. Now, a couple of more things here. You may be interested in the Greeks, right? And so if we click on this button over here, you'll see that there's more items you can add that you can see here. So it's a great idea to take a look at, for example, theta, delta, gamma, and vega. Those are the four main important Greeks. So if I click on OK, this will show you the Greeks here. And again, this is important because remember, theta is time decay. This is how much the value of this contract will lose just because of time passing every single day. So if I sell this put in one day, this will lose $6 in value. This contract will lose $6 in value, which means I would make $6 as the seller of this option, right? You also have delta. Delta tells you how much the value of this option goes up or down by with a $1 increase or decrease in the price of the or of the share price, right? So if GM goes up $1, the value of this contract will go down by 24 cents a share. Again, there's 100 shares, so it's going to be $24. But if GM goes down by $1, the value of this contract would go up by $24, right? So again, it's important to always take a look at the Greeks, especially delta and theta when selling put options, to understand kind of how time decay will play an impact on this, and how, you know, the value or the share price changing is going to affect the price of this contract. But anyways, I've made videos on the Greeks and things like that, so I won't get too in depth on that. But ultimately, once we have the option that we want to sell, for example, we said this this $52 strike, what you're going to do is you're going to click anywhere over here on the right on it. Now, I can't click on this one because this is my demo account, so it's not going to ever let me trade anything since the demo account. So what I'll do here is I'll actually go to my real account now, and this is not showing my account number anywhere, but I have it set up here to where basically it shows you kind of what it would look like. So here I clicked on the $54 strike one. We can click on the $52 strike one as well. So I'll click on that. This will tell you kind of what's going on here. So as you can see, this switches over to the $52 strike option. This is actually the one expiring July 21st. Let's go to August 6th instead. So let's go to August 6th. Again, I'll do 10 here. And then we were talking about the 52 one. So let's click on that. So as you can see, what's going to happen is this option will show on the right here. And as you can see, this is the $52 strike option for GM. This one expires on August 6, 2021. And of course, this is a put option. So that's how you read that there to make sure that you are clicking, or that you are, you know, looking at the correct option that you clicked on. And then we're not trying to buy a put, we're trying to sell a put here. So we'll click on sell. Then we have our order type here. So right now it's on limit. You know, you can also do market, you can do stop, you can do stop limit. I would definitely recommend use limit here. If you use market, it's gonna go through, but you might not get as much premium as you thought you would. So always use limit when doing options. This gives you better control as to what value you're looking for in terms of what premium you're trying to receive. So by using the limit here, we're not going to actually sell this put unless we're getting at least $74 for selling this put. So I definitely always encourage you to use a limit order here. And so you can also try to switch your limit price, right? So let's say you don't want to sell this put unless you're getting minimum $76. So you could go up to 0.76, for example, here if you want. Keep in mind, you can also switch the number of contracts. If you want to sell 2 puts, 3 puts, 4 puts, I'll just leave it as 1. And then, of course, we have time enforced. You can read kind of on what that means there, but that's not too important. I'll just leave it as day. And then you would go ahead and place your order here once you have all of this configured correctly. So I'd go ahead and place order. Now it's not gonna let me because I don't have that much buying power in my account to sell a put option on GM at the $52 strike. But if you do, it would go ahead and go through, or, you know, I would at least have the order there, potentially fill it. So anyways, that is how you would sell a put option on Webull. Again, really great way to generate consistent income. And again, really great way to potentially buy your stocks at a cheaper price as well. So if you have any questions about anything that I just talked about, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Check out the Discord, link to it in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.